Hello. We're going to be working on with the project practice data and working with the categorical variables. In particular, we're going to make the pie and bar charts for the categorical variables. Now, in this example, the categorical variables are political party and sex or gender of the respondent. So what I need to do is to be able to make a pie and bar charts for the for political party as a variable and also for the gender as a variable. So I actually have already done the political party prior to making this video. So right now I guess I'll work on the gender, which I had called sex in the original data set. So okay, so to start this, well, actually what I can do for this is coded, the gender or the sex is coded as a 0, 1, 0 is male, 1 is female. It's coded completely arbitrarily. The numbers are not meaningful in this context. And what you can note is we know the total number of data values here. This says 101, right? But the first row here is the text, it's the label. So there's 100 pieces of data. So the first respondent was a Republican, worked 6 hours a week, also a female, and 18 years old. So that was the first person in this group. Actually, this data is completely fictitious, but if it were real data, which it's not, then that would be the characteristics of the first person. The second person would be a Republican that works on average 15 hours a week and is male and 20 years old. Okay, so that's what it is. And of course you want to make sure everybody codes the data the same way. So now, so to make the pie and bar charts, really it's really very simple. What we need are the number of males and also the number of females. And once we know those numbers, then we can make the pie and bar charts right away. Now, since these are coded as 0, 1 variables, if I add up the numbers here, that would count the number of females. So that's what I'm going to do. So at the bottom here, I'm going to do a total. So I'll put a little line here to indicate that this isn't data. This is going to be a total. And so to add these up, I'm going to use the Excel function sum. So to use any Excel function, you select a cell and then you put in an equal sign. And once you put in an equal sign, then you can use an Excel function. So I'm going to insert a function. And so here's a list, here's the most recently used functions from here. And it could be that the function that you're interested in would be in this list because it's recently used. But if it's not in the list, if you go to all, then this is a list of all of the functions that are available, and it's an alphabetical list, a listing of those. So sum PQRS, sum is going to be in this list, and sum is right there. So if we select sum, then we get this dialog box, and this is, and it tells you, by the way, that these, what does it say? Adds all of the numbers in a range of cells. Okay, fine. So I have to provide the range of cells, and that actually is the range of cells I want. I want C2 to C101. Those are the numbers I'm going to add up. But in case, just to make sure, or if I didn't know that in advance, I could click on the arrow and then highlight the numbers. Whoopsies, there it is. Highlight all the numbers that I want to add up. I want to add those and click back on the arrow, and then it puts the syntax in there to that references those particular cells. So if I click on OK, number 52 pops up. So there's 52 ones. So that means that there are 52 females. So this must be 52. So if that number is 52, this number must be 100 minus 52 or 48. So I can just confirm that by, if I want to do that small addition or small calculation, I can put an equal sign here and then just type in 100 minus this cell. And if you hit enter, we can see it's 48, which we knew, but if we didn't know, we could do the calculation very easily in Excel. Okay, so now I'm going to highlight these and I'm going to insert a chart. So if I select the pie chart, I'm just going to do a two-dimensional pie chart, and then here it is. And so I can, of course I want to, give it a chart title. So the chart title is what? MCC Student Survey. And this is gender of respondents. Okay, and so I would like to also have a little more than just this, because it's somewhat informative, but I would like to, so I right-clicked, and I'm going to select Add Data Labels, but I want more than that. That gives me the number, but I think I want more than that. I want the category names. So there they are. Now I have a category name as well. So these are the males, those are the females. There's slightly more females than males. The legend now I can get rid of because it doesn't actually serve a purpose. And that makes the chart size just the plot size just a bit larger. And so here it is, the pie chart, and you can bold that or not. At this point it's a style issue of whatever you think looks nice. Now I think these might be a little small. That's a size 9 font. I'm gonna increase that a little bit. I don't want to make it too big. 12 seems to be okay. So I have that. Okay, and so once you have the chart and you think it looks decent, you can select the chart, do a Control-C, and so here for gender, I can put in my chart, which it did change the color, and wasn't something I was expecting. I'm okay with that. I don't think I really care so much. Oh, and I also need the bar chart. So actually what I could have done, and which would have been a little nicer, so I'll do it now, is I'm going to put them next to each other, and in order to do that I'll have to put in a table, I think. So if you go in your Word document to insert and then you select table, I'm going to select a table with 2 columns, no, 2 columns and 1 row. Nope. There, 1 row, and I'm going to auto fit to contents. So there it is. There's my table, and if I go back home I can put that in the center, and now in one of the cells I'm going to do a Control-V so that I have my pie chart there. I can resize this. I guess it doesn't really fit on, and I'm going to get rid of this one, so I'll just delete it. And so then I want the bar chart to be in this. I'll put the bar chart in this other location. Yeah. So now to do the bar chart, let's get rid of that. It is very similar. I'm just going to select this data and then go to Insert. And here is the bar chart. And again, okay, so it looks like there's a huge difference between these. That's because this chart doesn't start at 0. It starts at 46. So even though there's a difference of 4 between them, it makes the differences look huge, which is not a very nice chart really, because it's a little deceptive. So you have to notice it's deceptive. I mean, it looks like there's a huge difference between the percentage of males and females in the survey, but really there's not. There's only a difference of 4, which isn't very many. So this is going back to the title, this is the MCC student survey, which is what we did. And this is the gender. Of the respondents, but I'm not happy with what's going on here. I think it's a bit deceptive, so I'm going to format this axis and force it to start at 0. So what I just did is, and the way Excel works is if you want to change something, you can either click it or right click on it. I'm right clicking now, and I'm going to format axis. And you can see the minimum's at 46. I'm going to force the minimum to be at 0. And the rest of it I don't really care about. So let's see if that works out okay. And so now you can see that they look, very similar. So it's not as though it's so imbalanced. I don't want to give the impression of it being imbalanced if it in fact is not imbalanced. Okay, so that's the bar chart, and I can resize it a bit, and then I'm gonna do a copy. So I use a Control-C for copy, and if I click in the right cell here, I can do Control-V, which is the paste, and so now I have the charts side by side. This one's a bit bigger. So I do want to maybe fix that up a little bit. Okay, well, anyway, they're not very large plots. They don't really, I really wanted them to fit on this one page, so that's why I was playing with that a little bit. Okay, and so that's the pie and bar charts for the gender, and then I can do the same thing for, and I did for the political party. Have one for each of those, and so that's it. So in the next video, we'll work on the confidence interval estimate for the proportion for these.